Well, they all ought to be able to get ready for the first game, that's for sure. It's exciting. The stadium looks beautiful, and exciting to get out there and put our brand on the season. And I know our kids are excited about it.
It seems like a great defensive play at the beginning of an opener can sometimes set the tone for the entire season. Some of your guys were already talking about how they want to hit the ball first. What does that excitement mean to you when you see that enthusiasm?
Well, I'm excited that our kids are thinking positively about the game, and that's a good feeling. But talk is cheap. We need to go play. The kids need to play well. We need to strike up front and get off blocks and leverage the ball correctly and adjust to the multiple formations and shifts that Monroe will give us. And so we just need to do a great job early in the game of adjusting what they give us.
Coach, obviously you're not a guy that gets real fired up about anything.
Mm-hmm.
How do you maintain the emotion throughout the week of your players as they lead up into the game and not get too excited today?
Right. Well, you play Saturday, and so you want to temper the enthusiasm throughout the week and let them understand that it's a workman effort throughout the week to have a game day effort on Saturday. And so you approach each day with that lunch pail attitude to go out and just work hard with what you do and make sure that we take care of the fine details throughout each day in each practice as we build up to game day and cut it loose on game day.
Is there something that you've seen come together the last week that maybe you were a little worried about that now it's done?
Well, I have been pleased with our leadership, but I still don't think the true test of your leadership is going to happen during the season when we start facing some adversity and how these kids handle those situations. So, but I have been very pleased with the effort of a lot of our kids and pleased with our attitude and our approach each day to the work.
Especially since it's budget-wise, especially before the first week.
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
Well, you always worry about what you didn't cover, what you didn't go over, and you really just need to let your kids play and let the scheme take over and let them adjust things out as well as they know how to do and let that happen. But as a coach, you're always worried about what you haven't covered, what you haven't seen in the first game. Obviously, we're going to face some things that we haven't prepared for. Our kids just need to adjust things out and play well.
Coach, you talked about leadership, building that. Is it possible to have the kind of leadership you did last year with guys like Roy and Rapp, who seemingly were about as good as it gets when it comes to leadership?
Well, I think so. I think we've got guys that are very capable, and I think those kids have done an outstanding job of stepping up. But again, we're going to face some adversity. First game, second game, third game. We're going to face some adversity in the season, and how will we respond in those situations will determine our leadership for the season.
Coach, obviously you know how important Sergio is going to be for this team. Talking to me about leadership, has he exceeded your expectations for where you wanted him to be? Talk about just how good, we hear nothing but how good he's been in practice and how much of a leader he's been.
Well, Sergio is a leader by example. He not a very vocal guy, and he came to me after I talked to him about being a leader, and he said, I'm not a very vocal person, and that's when I learned a great lesson about don't ask somebody to be something they're not. And let him just play, and he plays with a relentless effort and attitude and a physical toughness, and his physical presence positively affects the rest of our football team, and especially our defense. So let him be who he is. That's who he is. All right, don't make him something he's not. Okay, so I learned a great lesson there of just letting him be the football player he can be.
Coach, how much easier is this year going into it, knowing the person, knowing everybody the way you know them now compared to the year?
Well, it's a lot easier, and it's a lot more, I would say, comforting a little bit to go into the first game and feel pretty good about how your kids are going to respond. They know how I'm going to respond to situations. They know how I'm going to adjust and how we will handle adjustments in the game. So all of those things are you feel a lot more comfortable going into the game. Obviously, there's going to be some things we're not prepared for in the first game all the time. We've got to do a great job on the sideline of making sure we handle those adjustments and don't take anything for granted. I mean, although it's still the second year, you still have things we've got to cover, and we still got a lot of work to do this week.
Coach, is it fair to say that you have a lot of options when it comes to defense? Because it seems like there's a lot of oars on the depth chart and guys who maybe do one thing better than the other. I mean, do you feel like you've got a lot of different choices when it comes to specific situations and downs and distances, things like that?
Well, I think we have a lot of competition at most positions, so I think that's a great motivator. I mean, when kids step on the field, we're going to grade the film each week and who has great effort and who produces, and the guys that do that are the ones that are going to get the most snaps, and they understand that as they approach each week. So that's a great motivator for us as coaches, is the competition we have on our team.
Is there a game day ritual that you like that Texas does that maybe Auburn and everyone else does?
No, it's just it's pretty normal. I enjoy the entrance into the red zone there as we walk in, and Tom and Cindy Hicks has provided that entrance way is pretty special as you come in there and the fans are there and you're getting ready for game day, and but it's pretty normal game day. We just gotta play well and coach well.
Coach Sergio said that he got a text from you this morning at 4:45 saying you were ready to go. How about you? What time do you have to get up if you're going to be sending texts at 4:45? Were you up at 4? 3:45?
Well, I was up early, ready to go. I can tell you that. I was excited about practice today, and then we went in the morning to avoid some class conflicts with the kids, and just wanted to make sure some of the boys were ready to roll.
How do I have a feeling you didn't sleep last night?
I slept well.
You excited to see Alex and some of the
Yeah.
hopefully
It's kind of like Christmas. You want to see what these guys are able to do under the lights and how they're going to respond. And, they're going to be freshmen. They're going to make some mistakes, and you know that going in. So let's just get great effort from them, get them to play hard, get them to play within the scheme of what we're trying to do, get them to play the Texas way. And once they understand that and the tempo and the attitude they've got to do it with, they're going to be outstanding. And I'm excited about all of those guys that are going to contribute for us.
So how tough is it to prepare for this team, knowing that number one, they got a transfer quarterback who hasn't been in that system, and two, that it is you have to watch. I mean, is there any film on this guy, and kind of how do you prepare for something where there's just not a lot of real tangible?
Right. Well, he played last year for them in some situations. He had an outstanding game-winning drive against Troy. He played well against Middle Tennessee for him. But he's a 6'5", 218-pound kid that's really got some arm talent. I think they're very talented at wideout. You got Sapp, a guy that was ineligible last year that's back, was an all-conference player the year before. McNeil. And Ambrose is a guy that won the 100-meter his senior year in Louisiana, which obviously is a 10-1, 10-2 100-meter guy. So they've got very capable guys at the skill positions to create plays in space. They are a spread offense. They're going to multiple motion shift, give you a lot of different looks. So we got to do a great job of having our eyes in the right spots and making plays in space and against a team that's going to have a lot of skill.
You gonna be in there on Sunday to take some chicken? Offensive meeting?
No question.